I always wanted to travel. I grew up reading, I grew up obsessed with all of the different places in the world where I could go.
I had actually always wanted to join the Peace Corps.
I
grew up in a number of different countries. In 2018, I served with the Peace Corps in Samoa.
Every day, Peace Corps volunteers and all of us who support them wake up and spend the day working hard to make the world a better place.
Peace Corps seemed like a way that wasn't being an ugly tourist, a way that was actually helping people. You're giving up so much to be there in terms of freedoms, not in terms of your style of life, but in terms of your right to choose things, that you assume that in return, Peace Corps is going to look out for you. I found that that was not the case.
Madam Chairman, there's no doubt that what these courageous women have done have opened our eyes to a problem that we need to correct, and we need to correct it now, and I want to work with you to do that.
To me, one of the very troubling facets of the organization is how unself-reflective it is.
Rest assured that this type of thing of blaming the victim will not continue in the Peace Corps of today.
The first word I learned in Samoan language outside of training was for rape. So it just seems like domestic abuse and the sexual assaults are not rare occurrences, and that had to have been known by the Peace Corps. I remember there was a big PowerPoint screen, and the title of the presentation was Prevention of Sexual Assault. And it really felt like it was our responsibility to not get assaulted, to not get raped. We never talked about sexual assault, rape, domestic abuse in a Samoan context. The first assault was my host father during training. And then the second was my host brother at my permanent site. And then the third was just another young man in our community.
You want to go outside? Yes? Yes, you do. I arrived in the Kyrgyz Republic in the summer of 2017, and I was doing kind of your pre-service training for 3 months. I had heard, especially through our training, that there were a majority of the sexual assaults reported by volunteers occurred in Bishkek, and I had asked politely not to be placed there. I didn't press the issue because staff was really convinced that I would do really well in Bishkek.
January of 2018, I arrived in Ecuador with almost no idea what I was walking into. It was beautiful. It was just farms, and the Pan American Highway ran through it, and I was really happy to be there. I emailed the Peace Corps medical officers, that was the protocol, and they set up the appointment for me. It was either I have the procedure with him or I not have the procedure at all, because I wasn't allowed to choose my medical provider.
I started to experience situations where I would be on the bus and I would feel things. So I would be groped, or I would feel hands on my body. It became like this thing that I was really stressed about. because I felt like somehow I had done something to provoke this.
So the Peace Corps was, as a program, it developed out of a kind of national security discourse and community that was based on the experiences of elite white men. That's who developed the Peace Corps, and that's who organized it, and that's who staffed it to begin with. It is still a largely white institution, but it is also now a largely woman-populated institution. If you don't design an organization around these really important questions of who is doing the work and what it means for them to be doing the work, then you are ill-equipped to support the people who are doing the work.
I knew I was going to be asked to serve under conditions of hardship in terms of, cultural challenges and being in a new place and not being able to see my family and not having my regular coping mechanisms. But this was an unreasonable ask to experience regular sexual violence on a literal daily basis. What was so frustrating was that the culture in the Peace Corps was making it seem like we were all being dramatic and overreacting and, what did we expect them to do? Meanwhile, it seems like they very clearly knew what was going on.
He had blocked my entire body and just ground his erection into my arm to show me that he was hard. I left. I walked out. There was actually another volunteer at the office. She said that she had seen him and that he was really inappropriate with her, that he had said and done things. And she said, I went to the Peace Corps medical officers and I told them. And I remember thinking, Peace Corps just sent me to this man. Peace Corps just sent me to this man. And they knew.
I think ultimately we need to be having critical conversations because otherwise we're not doing a good job. We're not doing a good job for Americans and we're not doing a good job for the countries that we supposedly serve.
Peace Corps gave me this trauma and they are responsible for it. And I am trying to tell them that they are responsible for what they are doing to all of us and get them to fix the practices that are allowing this to happen. I just want Peace Corps to actually be what it says it is. I want it to be an organization that does good.